Hi, in this video I'm going to show you the feature puddles for the Product Advanced Master Material for props. When activated, the puddle uses the UV of the mesh, so you can have a more or less large puddle. You can use the parameter world position and set the parameter channel RGBA selection to 3 or 4 to have several puddles. The UV scale also needs to be increased as it is set to 1 meter by default. You can adjust the size of puddles with white and black intensity, but it's not recommended to increase white intensity above 1. Otherwise, the mask gradient will be lost and will no longer allow puddles to be removed when puddles is set to 0 in MPC weather. If you create your own mask, make sure it never has a fully white value and always has gradients. Your mask must be set to vector displacement map with sRGB unchecked. When you increase the strength and direction of the wind and when it rains, puddles react to these weather effects. You can disable these parameters to reduce the complexity of the shader. When changing the wind direction in-game, you should lower the wind strength to a low intensity, so that you can change the wind direction without causing the puddles to look bad due to the way it works. When you reduce the puddles, the intensity of the waves and ripples decreases. You can control this effect with the parameters waves and rain ripples visibility by depth and intensity by depth. You can control the distance of puddle reflections to prevent them from reflecting light for long distances, and also disable their visibility when you're far away. You can add a sludge, control the depth, opacity, color, and fade distance. You can also add color to the puddles. As you can see, sludge is defined by the depth of the puddle mask. The puddles have an angle tolerance that allows to control the maximum slope they can support. You can control the specular to increase puddle reflection. By default, the puddle mask can be pixelated due to its large size. There's a parameter mask details to hide this pixelation that you can disable if required. The parameter interaction allows you to have waves around your character or any mesh with render custom depth pass enabled. You must use the blueprint render target capture character mesh and activate two-sided. You have several parameters to control the waves. When you enable the parameter frozen puddles, the puddles are influenced by the frost amount. When using frozen puddles, you can activate subsurface and the translucency textures. You can disable frozen puddles simplified material to have a second material of cracked frozen water. There's a parameter to make the frozen puddles breakable when the character walks on them. It works in the same way as puddles interaction, but you have to use the blueprint character tracks meshes this time and activate character tracks to make it work. You also have several parameters to control the look of the broken frozen puddle. You can modify the distance, decide if there are remaining broken pieces, and the distance of the broken material. If you're using tessellation, you can also use the puddles feature, but the displacement will be flat where the puddles are located to allow them to appear. The parameter use height material allows puddles to take shape according to the height of the material. You can also adjust the parameter's height, intensity, and offset. In addition to the puddle mask, you can also mask the puddles in the areas where you don't want them. This mask is configured in the same way as the Puddles mask. With the various masks and the total control of UV, you can place your mask exactly where you want it. And finally, you can paint the puddles with Vertex painting. You can disable Puddles mask to have puddles everywhere. By default, the parameter full Vertex painting is enabled, which means that when you paint with Vertex painting, the puddles will appear around the Vertex painting and not inside it. The parameter mask noise is used to add detail to the blend to avoid straight lines of Vertex painting. You still need to have enough geometry and paint correctly to get a good result. Having the puddles around the Vertex painting allows you to have the materials layers inside the Vertex painting. You have total control over the location of puddles, thanks to the Vertex painting and the masks. By disabling the parameter full Vertex painting and enabling one or more colors of Vertex painting, it is the opposite that occurs. The puddles will be inside the Vertex painting. That's all for this tutorial. If you enjoyed it, leave a like and subscribe to be informed about the next tutorials.